D. Ferg had some kind of genuine love for this cat, like, yo, we gotta look out for him, man. He talking about committing and he talking about, you know, doing crazy to himself, man. We gotta watch him, man. He let that money, power, and respect go to his head, but he had it ass backwards.
So it looks like this whole mess with Diddy is more disturbing than we thought, because his ex-bodyguard Gene Deal just spilled the tea about Diddy's attempts at unaliving himself, and the details are worse than you could imagine. Apparently, there was a time where Diddy was extremely depressed and attempted on multiple occasions to take himself out. The reason why people even brought this up again is because he has just been slapped with another lawsuit just about 2 days after the footage of him mistreating Cassie was leaked by CNN. And sources close to him are saying that all these back-to-back hits might lead him back to his depression, resulting in him attempting to take his life. What makes this even more disturbing is that Gene explicitly said that Diddy would rather than end up in jail. And from the looks of it, he might be right. Now, for those of y'all who have been out of the loop about what has recently been going on with Diddy, CNN recently shook up the entire industry when they leaked a graphic video of Diddy attacking Cassie in the hallway of a hotel back in 2016. As soon as this video was uploaded, it started going viral, and as expected, it disgusted everyone. The backlash got so bad that Diddy himself came out of hiding, and for the first time since this entire mess started, he addressed everything himself. He finally acknowledged the fact that he is a terrible person and that people were right about what they were saying about him.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was up. I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
But of course, no one believed a word coming out of that man's mouth, and more people even came out to drag him because they felt like the apology was not sincere. And to be fair, they are right, because had CNN not leaked that very graphic video of Diddy's violence, Diddy would have just kept trying to gaslight us into thinking he was innocent, even though he's not. But get this, y'all, just a few days after the video was leaked, Diddy was slapped with another lawsuit from model Crystal McKinney, who accused him of forcing her to perform oral acts on him in a studio back in 2003. The lawsuit alleges that Crystal arrived to find Diddy drinking and smoking joints with several other men. She smoked some pot, which she later came to understand was laced with an intoxicating substance. She felt as though she was floating. Diddy led her to the bathroom, which is where the SA took place. Diddy then led her back to the studio where she lost consciousness. She later woke up in a taxi and realized that she had been SA'd by him. Now, this is where things get even more disturbing, because 50 Cent announced shortly after this news came out that the documentary in the works about Diddy that he has been working on was sold to Netflix for an undisclosed price after a huge bidding war between multiple streaming platforms. But shortly after posting this, he backtracked a little bit when he reposted an article about Diddy getting sued by Crystal, and he said he was actually concerned about Diddy's mental health and that someone should keep an eye on him in case he tries to take his own life. He said, "God damn, boy, another one? This is my last puffy post. I think he might kill himself. I don't want no parts of that." 50 Cent was the last person anyone was expecting to care about Diddy's mental health. So when he said this, a lot of people were shocked, and that's when they started to do a little digging to see if Diddy had ever had those thoughts before at any point in his life. And guess what? He did. People found an interview that Diddy's ex-bodyguard Gene Deal had done some time ago, in which he said that Diddy had previously suffered with some tendencies to take his own life, and he was afraid that all these lawsuits were going to drive him back into that dark hole again. He said that the first time he witnessed Diddy get into that extreme depressive state was when he became broke after getting fired from Uptown Records. He didn't know how he was going to make money to pay his bills and take care of his family, and this led him to having some disturbing thoughts about unaliving himself.
D. Ferg had some kind of genuine love for this cat, like, yo, we gotta look out for him, man. He talking about committing and he talking about, you know, doing crazy to himself, man. We gotta watch him, man. He don't know how he gonna feed his baby. You know, I think Tim Dog and Eddie F from Heavy D and the Boys was paying his bills or something at the time, and D. Ferg was helping him out. I was like, if that's the way you feel, let him kill himself.
According to Gene, the raid on Diddy's houses, as well as the lawsuits and everything else coming out against him, may send him into that mental state because he knows he can't get away with this. Gene even went as far as saying that Diddy would literally rather off himself than watch his entire legacy crumble in front of him and be thrown in jail.
See that video that went viral of Diddy pacing around the airport after his houses got raided?
I seen that video. I seen that video. And I seen that look in his face before. I seen that look in his face.
Of him pacing around and he's looking worried, and you knowing him, do you think it's possible that he might commit?
When you're a narcissist, there's always a possibility because you're suffering. But I don't think that he could see himself in a cage. I don't think he could see himself behind those bars in those type of situations. It's too many real dudes that dislike him. But then again, there's a lot of real dudes that need help.
So, as y'all can see, it looks like this entire situation might be affecting Diddy even more than we think, and even more than he's letting on, especially considering his past struggles with his mental health and his attempts at unaliving himself. But at the same time, a lot of people don't feel sorry for him because he has done some irreparable damage to a lot of people, and never once did he stop to think about how they were also going to be affected by his actions. I mean, this man has SA'd people, stolen from other artists, had people blacklisted, forced people into freak-offs on camera, threatened people's lives, and allegedly is even responsible for the deaths of so many people in the industry. It's understandable why people do not feel bad for him when you take all these things into consideration. One person reacted to this by saying, P. Diddy will be dead in the next year. He will either be killed or I'm calling it now. Another person said, after this Diddy apology video, he needs to be on unalivement watch. For real. Epstein mysteriously died awaiting trial, and those women never got their justice. A lot of people hate his guts right now, and a lot of people would rather not work with or see him anymore. He's embarrassed. But now I want to know your thoughts. Do you think there's a possibility that he'll try to take himself out once things get to be too much for him? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.